Hello and welcome to the Ball Card Show, the sports podcast.
For the Sports Collector.
I'm Jason Otero.
I'm Gary LeMaster.
This is Season 5, Episode 24. And as y'all watching this, we're packing up our bags.
Heading to
the
Windy City.
The Windy City, Chi-Town, my kind of town. Chicago. You know what I mean? Do you know that? Do you know that one? It's not outlaw country, so I didn't.
No, probably not then.
My kind of town.
Please don't.
Chicago. No?
You guys that are new to the podcast, since we've gone to video this year, have not been often introduced to Jason's just random bouts of song that were a fixture of the podcast when we were audio only.
That's right.
Yeah. So you got a little taste of that.
A little razzle-dazzle. You get them right. The news that we have this week, scams, controversy, left and right.
It's a little crazy. We got a lot to talk about.
Athletes demanding more money, which is a shocker. It's a shocker. You don't see that now. Easy. And we're bringing back for the first time in a long time a segment.
Pop or drop.
Pop or drop. We haven't done this in a minute. So if you haven't been listening for a long time, it's going to be new to you. It's a fun segment. Let's jump right into the biggest story in the hobby and a fairly sizable story, period, outside of the hobby. Tragic ending to the story. Somebody writes basically what we would call a manifesto uncovering, allegedly, a lot of things that have been happening in the memorabilia authentication space. And it does affect the hobby significantly. The question is, what's true, what's not, what really happened, what is still happening, and is there anything that can be done about it at this point? So I'll let you break down, get into the weeds a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, as Jason said, would have been Saturday when this broke, right?
I don't know what
Does that
day.
sound right?
Friday I have no idea
Saturday
what day. I don't know. If it's more than 24 hours, I'm lost.
That's fair.
At this point, I have no idea.
A gentleman by the name of Brett Lemieux, who is a known actor in the sports memorabilia world, owner of a huge eBay store called Mr. Man Cave, dropped a several thousand word manifesto that appeared to be somewhat manic on Facebook in the Autographs 101 room, and then disappeared. Unfortunately, and it was confirmed a couple days later, the FBI had raided their warehouse. The local police were involved in that as well, and they did unfortunately find Mr. Lemieux deceased, self-inflicted apparently. So that part of this is very sad, and our thoughts, no matter what this person's actions were, this person had a family, we assume, and so our thoughts go out to that family. No matter what he did, a life was lost here. But beyond that part of this, what appears to be the largest forgery ring of sports memorabilia, autographed sports memorabilia ever, likely appears to have been uncovered, at least since Operation Bullpen. And some of you may not be familiar with what Operation Bullpen was, but Operation Bullpen was an FBI investigation back in the late 90s that busted a similar ring back then. Nowhere near this scale because technology has changed that much since then. But what appears to have been the case was that over the last 15 years or so, Brett Lemieux, along with a couple of other actors in the space, were forging, actually having made in the same factories in China that make them for the companies here, fake holograms and certification cards from JSA, from TriStar, Panini Memorabilia, Fanatics, fake COAs. They had figured out how to hack into the databases of these companies and get the certification numbers so they could match them and then have new ones made.
Like,
and then
this is a very elaborate, planned out, thought through, organized crime.
Yeah, and auto penning all this stuff then and then going out. Now, the numbers that Mr. Lemieux laid out in his manifesto defy reality.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Let's hit a little timeout before we break these numbers off. These were in the manifesto. Now, here's one thing that I do want to say. Whenever something like this is uncovered, right? So anybody in the sports card space, especially people that have a platform, it is a little bit ironic to me that if one of the big companies not doing anything illegal does something positive, typically the first reaction by most podcasts, content creators is, no way that's true. But then we have a manifesto on Facebook, right?
That appears very manic.
To have been written by somebody that's not well at the time, with numbers where the math might not quite math. And the first thing everyone in the hobby, every influencer wants to say is it has to be true.
Yeah.
Finally, I knew it. So somewhere in the middle of this is probably where the truth lies.
Yes.
The fact that the FBI was involved, that's not like a quick thing off of a tip. That is something that they've been watching for quite some time to invest those types of government resources. This is an extensive, elaborate thing. So I just wanted to point that out before we get into the numbers.
For sure.
Like it's something almost people want to believe, the grand scale of it, because
we always want to believe the worst.
It's more of a sizzle, right?
Yes.
Now, whatever the truth is, it's significant. So
and I mean, to your point, we all know that within this hobby, there are a lot of people who thrive on the negative. They want there to be a crash.
We can fall into that easily. It's easy.
We have to fight to not do that. It's an easy thing to do. But these were the numbers that he laid out in his manifesto. $350 million worth of sales through Mr. Man Cave on eBay. That number makes sense to me.
That can be verified.
Yeah, that can be verified. But he's saying that they dumped 100,000 Tom Brady autos into the market. Tom Brady autos go for $6,000 to $8,000 on the regular, on authentic memorabilia. So just that number would be huge. He said they dumped 80,000 Kobe autographs into the market. This was the number that really defied reality to me. He claims that 95% of all of the Mahomes and Aaron Judge autos on memorabilia in the marketplace were created by them. That number seems drastic to me. The other one that really stood out was he said in the warehouse where they raided that there were $500 to $700 million worth of holograms and certification cards.
So that number I don't get caught up on, because you could say that and say, well, this is designated for this player's card auto, not card, but this jersey, blah, blah, blah. And if I average out the Brady autos with the other player, I could see where they're arguing that value for the holograms.
Well, one of the things that...
But it's not realized at that point.
No, for sure. And one of the things that's interesting about this is Mr. Man Cave specifically, if you go do just a little bit of research, there have been rumblings for a decade that this company was selling fake stuff. Yeah. And that really makes a lot of sense. One of the things when you look at anything like this that you really have to be cognizant of is if an authentic auto is $500 consistently for somebody, right? And you can buy it from Mr. Man Cave for $169.99. Probably a reason.
Yeah.
Right? Like
the best deals, but if you can also easily believe somebody's getting something at such volume that they're able to
I guess.
And I look up the certification, and we're talking JSA here.
Yep.
We're talking a reputable. This isn't some random dude's business card from a card show saying, nope, this is legit. I was there. These are real holograms that you can't just go make.
Well, evidently you can just go make them.
Well, allegedly.
Evidently you can just go make them. So what does this mean hobby-wise? On the sports card side of things, I don't think it really means a ton. Obviously, people are going to lose their minds and hem and haw and say, well, we talked about Lionel Messi and Bucky Irving a few weeks ago. Listen, every card company out there has dropped fake autos in their pack-pulled stuff. Like, we all know this. Like, this is not news. This is not new information. These companies have these guys signing thousands upon thousands of stickers, and their hands cramp, and so their best friend takes over, or their mom takes over, or whoever. We all know this, and it hasn't had an effect. Where I do think it has an effect is in the short term of the memorabilia market. And it's going to, I think, cause companies like Fanatics, companies like JSA to change their security measures, change their holograms, do a lot of
packaging
different things.
Yeah.
I imagine they will offer some type of certification program for stuff that you can send back in. And if it is theirs, they'll do it for free and give you the new security measures.
I mean, for free, yes, but they're about to pass all of those expenses right on to the consumer.
Oh, in the next round
I think
of products.
whatever the new standard is to prove that these are legitimate, I can't imagine it doesn't come with a price hike for memorabilia.
Right. Well, no, I don't disagree, but I think
I'm gonna stop.
No,
you
no,
there.
yeah, please do.
So let's just think through this for a second. Let's cut those numbers in half. Let's cut them in a third.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's cut them in a fourth. Like it does. There's a ton of this out there.
Oh yeah. And then,
like the claim was 95% of Tom Brady's TriStars.
20%.
If it's 20%, like that's the kiss of death for a player. Like
it's a kiss of death for people who own the memorabilia. And I think the bigger concern with this is not what he was selling through Mr. Man Cave, but my understanding is he was supplying a lot of these repacks, a lot of these memorabilia repacking companies, these mystery helmet boxes, all those places were buying this stuff from him.
Yeah. Have you noticed a massive uptick in the memorabilia repack space in the last 2 years? Hop on TikTok for a couple hours, and it's probably 30% that and 70% cards when it comes to the sports collectibles on there. I just began to wonder, where are all of these coming from? Like at a rate where you haven't seen before, there's so much more of it, so much of it that's new. And then the question I have as it interacts with the card space is, was any of this cut autos? Because that could directly impact the card market. If we found out that cut autos were sent off to Leaf, because you have former owners of Leaf, like even acknowledging they would go buy cut autos everywhere. That's how they're sourcing a lot of their stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything about cut autos, but that would definitely impact the card market.
My understanding of this and everything, and you can find this whole manifesto. It's out there. It's not hard to find.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything in there that led me to believe that this would touch.
That's a good point.
Side of
the way
space.
this was written, anything that could have been sizzle would have been in there.
It was all the memorabilia side. And the one thing about this market, and I think you would probably agree with this, is the memorabilia side and the card side don't have a whole lot of overlap. I know a few people who collect both, but most it's one or the other.
Or they collect memorabilia and they have a few cards.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
It's a little bit it's not like somebody has hundreds of thousands of cards and 5,000 pieces of memorabilia.
Where they want them all authenticated.
Yeah.
There's a lot of card collectors that'll go buy it and they're like, that auto looks legit. For $100, I'll grab that jersey. It's just going up on my man
wall.
cave. Who cares? So, but the scale and volume of this, if we're talking, we know that there's been $350 million in sales. What we're hearing is it was sold for about 50% of it. So you can make the argument that there's, almost $750 million out in the marketplace right now, value wise. So what happens to the value? Does Tom Brady's market get affected?
Well, I think all these guys,
does anyone buy a TriStar Tom Brady auto?
Well, I think what we're going to see is a lot more of people we talk about it in cards. Buy the card, not the flip.
Sure, yeah.
I think that we're going to start seeing that more in the memorabilia. I think what will happen is the fake stuff will get outed pretty quickly, and the real stuff will probably go up in value.
Yeah.
That's my guess as to what will happen. But as with anything, just because something has a COA doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah.
This stuff has been going on for a long time. Willie Mays, the Say Hey stickers, they got compromised many years ago, and most of the Say Hey stuff after the first year was fake. Golden, the first time around when Ken Golden was in the market.
Well, they put a little card on there.
Yeah, the first time around, most of the Golden stuff that came out late in that run was all fake. So this has been happening for years. Anytime that it doesn't matter what the market is, if somebody thinks they can make money by shortcutting, they're going to try to. Companies have to keep up their security and their their hologram technology and everything else to stay ahead of those guys, which is what I think will be the response.
Yeah. I think that's the perfect segue into the next topic here.
Which is?
Anybody that thinks they can shortcut making money.
Geez.
WNBA at the All-Star game, they appeared to all be in unison. Allegedly, Mrs. Caitlin Clark was doing it begrudgingly, according to the rest of the players that really don't need her to experience that level of success that they've always had for the last 6 months. But WNBA players were repping "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts at the All-Star game. So no doubt all of you have seen this if you have a phone with any social media app. If you're able to watch us, this has popped up in your feed. We have been very upfront from the get that we think it is awesome that the WNBA is growing and has experienced explosive growth. We think it is incredible to see the new wave of athletes, and the game is elevating. But the phrasing of that shirt.
Watching a group of people collectively shoot themselves in the foot over and over it's like when we watched Beckett for 24 months, just over and over, shoot themselves in the foot and kill themselves in the marketplace.
I just don't like, you and I worked at the same company in a commission only sales role.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
If somebody new came in and they were selling 2 times the amount that we were,
or in this situation,
just roll with it.
Yeah.
And you and I said, you know what? Because this new guy is selling all of us more stuff, you and I deserve a higher commission rate, even though we're not selling any more than we were. What is any logical business person going to say in that moment?
GTFO.
Yeah.
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 And the reality of it is in this situation, it's even sillier than that. Last year was the first time in the history of the WNBA where the league came close to breaking even.
Yep.
Let alone making a profit. They still didn't make a profit, but they came way closer than they ever have. Now, I don't know if anybody understands this, and obviously there's a whole bunch of players in the WNBA who don't understand this concept. But a business is there to make a profit.
To make people famous.
Yeah, it's there to make money, right?
Oh!
Now, if that business can also offer opportunity and on all these other things, that's fantastic. And that should be the goal. But for almost 30 years, the NBA has been using the WNBA as a pure tax write-off.
Yeah.
And they've been paying salaries to women playing a sport. That's great. To stadiums with 1,000 people in them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we had a team in Columbus at one time. And I remember going to a Columbus team game when I was probably 13 or 14 years old, early in the WNBA. There were like 600 people there in St. John's Arena.
Yeah.
Like it was, you could hear a pin drop at all times.
Sure. I mean, it's just getting started.
But even up until 3 years ago, you'd go to games with 1,500 people, 2,000 people in a 20,000 seat stadium.
Well, I was listening on another podcast, Cut the Nonsense. They were talking about the Phoenix fan base, and season ticket holders are actually kind of pissed because now it's so rowdy in the stands.
Yeah.
This was their quiet little season ticket spot up close. It was nice, chill, relax. And now you got all these fans screaming and going nuts, and it's annoying to them.
Yeah. So you've got this whole dichotomy. Yes, there's going to be a new TV deal signed soon.
And yes, it's growing exponentially. And yes, it's not just Caitlin bringing talent.
Correct.
Like, I think that's important
Caitlin
to say.
is bringing awareness.
Caitlin is bringing truckloads of money.
Michael Jordan faced the same challenges early in his career. A lot of the league hated him too because he accomplished something to drive popularity of the league that they didn't, and it made them mad.
He did a shoe deal with Nike, and it worked. Like, nobody expected that.
Yeah, to the tune of 20, 30x what expectations were.
Yeah.
So this situation, the whole pay us what you owe us thing, is just such the wrong way
It's just premature.
Well, and if what you want to accomplish is to elevate everyone's rate of pay, that's great, and it's a noble thing, and it should happen. But this insane idea that I think some of these ladies have, that they should be making the same as NBA players, is insane. And it has nothing to do with men versus women. It has to do with dollars in the door versus dollars out of the door.
Dollars versus cents.
Yes.
With an S.
Yeah.
You see, hey, hold on. You see what I did there?
I did see
I was
what
just
you
trying
did
to
there.
de-escalate a little bit.
Well, the idea, the way a CBA works is you negotiate for a percentage of revenue to be paid in salaries, right? If the revenue of the NBA is $12 billion and the players get 45% of that, then they're going to get about $5 billion split amongst them. If the WNBA has the same rate, I would argue that is an equitable thing.
Yeah, go
you should
get it.
45% of the revenue generated by your league.
Yeah, go get
which
it.
is about $500 million right
Yeah.
now. Maybe next year it'll be $1 billion with the new thing. So you'll have $450 million to split amongst all of you. You are getting paid equivalently.
Yeah.
It's not the same dollar amount, but you are getting paid equivalently. I will never understand this idea that we're owed the exact same paycheck. You're owed the exact same percentage, maybe, but not the same paycheck.
Yeah, where else in the world does this work?
It doesn't.
I mean, anywhere.
It only works here because the NBA is willing to take it as a tax write-off. Like that's the only way it works.
I mean,
here.
it's like a year or two out. Like it's on a projection for a year or two from now. It might make sense to wear those shirts if pay has not been increased.
Correct.
Now, when I look at some of these salaries, I too have been like, really? That's it? But it's carries over to any other business practice. Deeply in a deficit, hiring new people that you're only going to keep for a few years. Like,
do you think here's another crazy idea? Throwing it out there. You've got somebody like Caitlin Clark, and I will even begrudgingly say Angel Reese, who have elevated
the market.
right?
Absolutely, no question.
Do you think those two have just been sitting around waiting on the WNBA to pay them more? Or do you think they've gone out and got sponsorship deals and made a whole lot more money off the court than they are on the court?
Yep.
Try it.
Yep.
If you think the market bears your talent, Kelsey Plum.
Yeah, what is going on?
If you think the market bears you making $2 million a year, go see if there's any sponsors out there that are willing to put you in TV commercials.
They're going to love you talking crap about teammates and being rude to fans. Fan asked for an autograph. She's like, this is really turning me off.
Yeah.
Don't sign it.
Yeah.
Walk on. Nobody cares. Like, there has to be a stage on top of it. When NBA players, MLB players talk about teammates or fellow players in any kind of light like that, it's a problem.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's a problem. And so just even the presser with her being like, nobody for Team Clark. You know what she did do? Wear the shirt. She wore the shirt.
Yeah.
She didn't have to wear the shirt.
No.
She wore the shirt.
She wore the shirt. And if there's one person in the WNBA right now that absolutely doesn't need the rest of you,
financially,
it's Caitlin Clark.
So, WNBA, pay us what you owe us. They made a statement. That's really clear.
It was a statement.
But then I also watched some of the All-Star game,
which was brutally bad.
Now, the men's All-Star game is terrible too, but usually the score is like 150 to 130.
It felt like a bad high school game a couple of times.
Yeah.
When second half starts and it's like 22-9, it wasn't that bad, but like it felt that way sometimes.
So I guess a counter argument, if I'm playing devil's advocate, could be, why do you have such a problem with that statement? And I guess what we're saying is we don't. We just disagree on what is owed.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think that every WNBA player should, in the CBA, say we want the exact same percentage paid to us of revenue that the NBA players get. I think that is a valid and absolutely equitable thing to ask for.
And it's like it's happening and you're demanding it a little prematurely is what it feels like. Yeah. Because, on a micro level, you and I can't say, hey, for the last 3 months, you and I have doubled our card show revenue. So let's double our take home out of it.
Yeah, that's not how it
Because in
works.
6 months, the business will be. There's some very basic principles with it, but at the end of the day, there's a level of entitlement of it's owed to me, quite literally on the shirt. All
Doesn't
right.
make sense.
Topps Chrome released, or is releasing, or is about to. Oh, you already missed the hit.
Yeah, by the time you guys listen to this, Topps Chrome will have released yesterday on the 23rd. You should be listening to this on the 24th or after. Topps Fanatics did their pre-release, their pre-orders, and they sent out everything, and people started getting this stuff on the 20th and the 21st. That's really exciting if you're the one who ordered it. However, the one person who was a lock for an award this year, in all likelihood, which is Jacob Wilson of the Oakland Athletics, his super auto got pulled before release day.
Mm-hmm.
Breakers probably hate that.
Yeah.
I mean, breakers probably hate that. The guy's sitting on cases of this stuff thinking that they were going to get 45, 50% over market for it. Probably hate that. Now, for the rest of us that just want to go buy some of this,
Yeah.
probably a pretty good sign. But I don't know how I feel about Topps getting stuff out that quick, direct in that manner.
I mean, they're going to keep doing it. The part that I do like is they are making an effort to be more accessible direct to consumer. While that's not great for the shops, not great for dealers necessarily, for the fan that's collecting, it is cool that you can pre-order just like any other like anything else.
If you have time on a random Tuesday at noon to get there and refresh your page instantly because it sells out in 4 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, in any collectible space, that's common. People
Yeah.
are. I was in line at the mall at midnight for Halo releases. Like it's not uncommon
I miss those days.
Yeah, man. 4 energy drinks deep, assuming it was good for us because it had B12.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, then you stay
And
up.
taurine?
And then you were just sick the next day playing the game. Well, I understand that, the anticipation. I think that's cool. It's a good thing. Had this hit been revealed a little bit later, still
Yeah.
affects the break market, but I would be more mad if somebody didn't show that they hit that and then people were breaking and buying teams assuming it. But
For sure.
so the product itself, I still love Topps Chrome.
It's still going to be it's the rookie auto to have.
Cal's
know.
still not in there, right?
That's my understanding.
Yeah, no Cal. So, I mean, Judge is taking
Judge
off
is
with it,
Judge.
batting like double everyone's average.
Yeah.
Pretty insane. So, but yeah, that's a little interesting to me. It does affect the break space. I think it's a good thing for the singles market. For it to be out there, it'd be a little bit of excitement about it. But yeah, for the breakers, expecting the upcharge on that. Now, what'll be interesting is to see the ones that still do, because they're going to say there's still a 5. You still got the 10. You still got the.
You're still going to have.
Still have the autos.
How do I phrase this the right way without people?
People wanting to chase.
Well, and people telling us we're chasing clout, so I won't mention any names. The breakers who already charge more than they should just because their fan base will keep paying it regardless of whether it makes sense will continue to do so.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Did I do that properly?
I think you did.
Okay, cool.
All right, you ready to do something we haven't done in a minute?
I am. Let's do it.
For
Tell
those of
people
you
how it works.
For those of you that have not been around for Pop or Drop, it's a segment we used to do where we can hit a number of topics, players, and we are either going to say that it is a pop for us or a drop for us. A pop for us means it might be a short-term hold, or we do think there is upcoming a flip in the hobby, or it's a topic that we think is trending upward. A drop is if it's a card or a player, sell it, get out of it now because it's about to get worse, or we think it's on the downhill trend and may not meet expectations coming up. Does that cover pretty well?
Yep.
All right. So, and we're going to try to keep it moving, okay? As best we
Pop
can. All right.
or
Pop
drop.
or drop. Up first, pop or drop. J.J. McCarthy.
Drop.
You got there quick.
Quick. Drop.
So, I would agree with you on that. I'm going to ask you why here in a second. My big thing is when someone hasn't done anything yet, I still don't understand. I understand it. Collectors in ultra-modern sports have a fascination with the possibility, regardless of what they see right in front of them. Does that mean he's going to be horrible? I'm not saying that. I'm saying the price point is already setting an expectation.
His market is almost equal to Jane Daniels' market right now. It's insane.
Think about that for a second.
It's insane.
Yeah.
For me, the drop is very simple. the market has already baked in a rookie of the year type season for him, even though he's not a rookie. More importantly, I watched him play in college. And while he was a solid system quarterback,
Good leader.
yeah. Seems like a really good kid.
Which is super important.
And I wish him the best, and I hope I'm wrong. But boy, oh boy, most of his highlight plays throwing the ball were balls that never should have left his hand. They never should have been thrown. It was a lot like Caleb Williams was in college, where you're like, oh, look at that. Oh, that probably shouldn't have left his hand. So he's in a good situation. I'll give him that. He's got great receivers and a good play caller. So,
but if he has the first 2 weeks are not solid, that market's tanks. And so people are already paying up as if he's an established second-year player.
Take his night. If you have nice stuff of his, take it to the National. He'll be the hottest buy at the National. Get your money.
I mean, any of it I get, I'm putting that up on eBay quickly.
Well, you bought one Saturday and it was gone in 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, clearly Donruss. Rookie auto.
So 49 or 99?
It was the orange. I can't remember what number 2, but yeah, it lasted like 10 minutes. So there's a lot of excitement around him, but sometimes that's the reason for the drop because
Will
you're
Levis
not projecting.
was in the same boat last year. Will Levis was the hot buy going into.
Yeah. You can find him now on a ball card show
You can
giveaways.
find him now at 7-Eleven.
Okay. Drop. Up next, Michael Penix Jr.
Pop.
Why?
2 reasons. One, his market is about half of these other guys. Also in a good situation. And I was a big Michael Penix believer going into the draft last year. If you guys have been listening to the podcast for a while, you heard me say then that I thought either he or Jaden Daniels were going to be the 2 best quarterbacks to come out of that draft. And Jaden lived up to that hype. Penix looked pretty good when he got a chance later in the year. And now that's his job with no questions about it. They're building that offense around what he does well. And Atlanta has some weapons. So I think that Penix is a guy who can not only perform well, but I think the team is going to compete for that division. And winning and playing well as a quarterback are the 2 things that cause your market to go up. And if I can buy Michael Penix stuff, like I picked up a orange laser PSA 10 Michael Penix for, it's like $100 card right now. JJ McCarthy's doing like $215. 180 to 215, like what?
Yeah. I've got Penix as a pop as
Penix.
well. The reason for me is less about him being special and more about who he has around him that the hobby already is in love with. And I think if he catches stride and plays above average as an NFL quarterback, that his market continues to climb. So for me, that would be it. I think that you just have some excitement around it. You may or may not have some influencers in the hobby that go to all those games and throw out some hot takes.
Look at us just sidestepping eggshells.
Man,
today.
he did something this week. You want me to talk about it?
You can, yeah. Do you want to do it after Papa drops? So
no, I kind of want to do it right now.
Do it right now.
All right, Jeff Wilson did a video last week of talking about essentially, do you buy the card or the grade? And he landed on you buy the grade, and he said something about you should only buy PSA 10s, okay? The cover photo he had, the thumbnail had a vintage Jackie Robinson slab. And then later on, he referenced vintage as well. And what he found out was, once again,
he doesn't know what he's talking
that
about. That
wasn't accurate. There are lower numbered vintage cards that outsell higher grade vintage cards all the time. So I guess he has redacted. Some people pushed him on. He's like, I just meant ultra modern. No, you didn't. I mean, no, you didn't, but that's fine. Where were we? All right, up to the next one. But he loves Atlanta. We're going to hear more about it, and like it or not, they're going to pump that. So it's probably a pop, not a long-term hold, but I think through the season. Debo Samuel goes to Washington. Man, this guy had a lot of hobby love. What, second year? Was it second
and
year?
Third year.
Second and third year. A lot of hobby love. Dealt with some injury. Then it was kind of like the Niners are unstoppable, and then it kind of fizzles. Debo goes over there. Terry McLaurin, two of arguably, I mean, these guys can really slash it up. I think it is going to be, I don't know. What are you thinking on this?
You won't like my answer.
His market's down right now.
Yeah, I don't think it goes anywhere.
Really?
No, I don't.
disagree.
I don't think he plays more than 10 games.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Why?
Because he's going to get hurt. The way he plays, he gets hurt. He's not a receiver and he's not a running back. He's a old school H-back.
Do you think that the way that McLaurin, like, does he open up some doors for him?
Does McLaurin play? Because he's sitting out right now. He's not happy with his contract.
I think he plays.
I don't disagree.
I think they figured. So we can both answer that question. Yes.
Yeah,
like you're throwing out a hypothetical.
For me, Debo is not a pop. I don't necessarily think he's a drop either. That's
it's got to be one or the other. You got to pick.
If it has to be one, I'm gonna go with my gut and say drop.
All right, then I'll disagree with you on this one. I think Debo is a pop.
Okay.
By the end of the year, Topps Chrome this year's release.
You skipped one.
Oh, we'll go back to it. Topps Chrome this year.
Okay.
Well, I already said it. Gary, if we're going to correct, we'll just stop and edit now. If we're doing this, and I'll be correcting you
Topps
from now.
Chrome. Let's go.
Topps Chrome, pop or drop this year.
Pop.
It's a pop.
Yep, always is a pop.
There are certainly things that aren't great about it, but with the MVP buyback, on-card autos, even with the big 101 being hit already, I still think
it's one of my favorite baseball products of the year every single year. Just is what it is.
Excuse that yawn.
Wake up.
All right. No, I was waiting on your hot take. Jaden Daniels.
Drop.
Why? Well, I guess if you don't think McLaurin's going to play, you don't think Debo's any good. So that's
here's
not going to make
why
sense.
I say drop. What can he possibly do to make his market go up?
The same thing again.
CJ Stroud basically did the same thing, and his market went down 70%.
Okay, I guess the caveat is no. CJ has a healthy team last year. That doesn't happen.
They still made the playoffs.
You and I have talked about this. You're contradicting yourself.
No.
Go back 1 month, and you'll find yourself saying CJ was plagued with all these injuries. He didn't get the hobby love because of that.
My thing is every year, whoever the hottest quarterback was the previous year,
it's a high bar.
Down.
It's a high bar.
Their market goes down. It just always does. Hence,
not every time, but most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a mathematical drop.
Like second year, Herbert didn't go down. Second year, Burrow didn't go down.
Oh, second year, Burrow absolutely went down.
Second year?
He didn't start
that's
playing
right.
again
He had
until
the
midway
injury.
through the year.
Okay. Second year, he's back. Within 3 games, it's back where, like, barring the injury, right? It's there.
I'm a drop on Jaden. Not because I think he's a bad football player. I think he's a great football player. I think he's going to be really good for a long time, but there's no way the market can sustain where his prices are. I just watched one of his PSA 10 downtowns at a show sell for $2,800 on Sunday.
Yeah, I think he's a pop. I do. Okay. I think this year, I think that team, I think they figure out McLaurin's contract. I think Debo finds a role that actually fits. I think that's a great fit. I think the way he plays, that's a good fit.
I don't disagree with that.
So I guess I'm a little more optimistic there. I do agree with your principle though that second year they rarely are performing like you want them to. Authentic memorabilia, authentic in air quotes.
Emphasis on the word authentic, I think is a pop. I think the overall memorabilia market right now is a drop.
So you just said 2 things. You can pop or you can drop is the name of the game. You can pop or you can drop. You can't do both. You've done it twice now.
Okay. So
do you like this game or not? You said you like the game.
I want clarification. Are we talking
authentic? It's going to go up.
Authentic. Yes.
Yes. I would disagree with that.
Okay.
I think authentic is going to get more expensive, and I think there's going to be a little bit of a shuffling of interest for people in the space. They may shy away from that for a little bit. Fanatics isn't going to stop making it. They may introduce, hey, with this new thing, it can't be faked. Now, Upper Deck, with some of what they're doing with their high-end products too, are taking additional steps. I think they're kind of seeing ahead of the curve a little bit with what they're doing. What's it called?
They
the Cup.
Always have
their bigger product, like the way that they're going to slab these, and here's what this is from, and this is the authentication. So, I think as a whole, that market is a drop because it's going to be a little bit to figure out what happens with it. That doesn't stop them from being made, and it's going to get a little more expensive to get legit ones, I think. But some of the big names, there's always going to be a little bit of a question mark now.
Yeah.
So. Just like when you and I see the older golden stuff, if it's in there, it's just like, now I've purchased a couple of the old on-card autos, but it's golden. Like I'm telling the seller that too. I'm not pricing it like it's in a PSA authentic slab. So
not at all.
All right. WNBA viewer rating at the end of this year, pop or drop? It's a pop.
Pop.
It's a pop. The drama around it and the things that are frustrating about it are not hurting its market. It's driving the market. More controversy. Now it's getting a little bit like WWE, like they're trying to create a villain out of Caitlyn. But then she's going to come in full Hollywood Hogan, NWO, glasses. That's what she should do.
Just embrace
the heel and go full NWO. I'm for it. That would be sick.
Embrace the heel turn.
That would be great. I would agree. So that's a pop. Not much to think about there. All right. This one we got to think a little further ahead. Tyrese Halliburton, he's obviously not going to play next year with that injury. We don't know what recovery looks like. He was a guy that they were like, I don't know. Actually, he's great. I don't know. He didn't perform. Now he's injured. What he did last year through the finals, there were moments where we're literally watching somebody put the team on their back. And then there are other moments where you were like, is he playing tonight? And now he comes off of this injury. Now, his market did see a little bit of a bump, but it didn't go insane. What's going to happen?
I think he's a pop because his game, if Anthony Edwards had the same injury, it would be a drop. Tyrese Halliburton's game is not built on explosiveness. He is a super tall point guard who distributes the ball well and is clutch from a shooting standpoint. He's not blowing past guys and jumping face to the rim and, posterizing guys. He's not an explosive player. I think his market's going to be so down all year that you'll be able to buy nice stuff, and when he comes back and starts doing what he was doing before, you'll see a nice return. That's the reason he's a pop for me.
I would agree that it is a pop. It is a long-term hold at this point. If you're buying anything this year, it's going to be a couple years so you even have a chance to realize any gains. But his market is going to fall off. So if you are going to try to scoop up at the bottom as more of an investment in the hobby, I think you got to do that pretty soon.
No, I agree.
Throughout the year, you're going to hear report. I mean, you really have through the whole year, but NBA just wrapped up, the market's down. Is anybody really thinking about 2 years out from now? So if you're a Halliburton fan, Pacers fan, it may not be a bad time to find something that's a little nicer if you're a believer. A short number, maybe an auto, something slabbed up, something a little more on the high end of that. If you really believe that he's going to be back, he's going to be fine, he'll be leading that team that's still going to have a lot of talent. After that, all right, let's go to baseball. Ronald Acuna Jr. comes back from an injury last year with knee, right?
Second time.
Yeah.
Yes. Other knee. He's torn both now.
He's torn both knees, but he's playing ball. He's playing well. He's playing well.
I was nervous. I had opportunities, and this is one of the few times where I didn't trust my gut and I went with my brain on stuff, and I wish I had followed my gut. I had opportunities over the winter to buy some really nice Acuna stuff, and I didn't buy it because, gosh, a guy whose game is built on speed, having 2 torn ACLs, just scared me. All he's done since he's come back is hit .340 with 11 or 12 home runs and stealing bases. He had one of the nastiest throws I've ever seen in my life. Did you see that throw where he hosed that dude?
Oh, yeah.
Just a tag up from second from deep right field.
Yeah, no Clemente, but it was solid.
Hosed the guy. Yeah. He is what he is.
Caught the third baseman off guard.
Yeah. When he's healthy, he's one of the 3 or 4 best players in all of baseball and one of the 2 or 3 most exciting. And he's healthy, and both of his injuries were kind of freak things.
Yeah.
The market's already starting to react to him. I don't think that we've missed the opportunity to buy, but it's getting there. He's awful good.
Yeah.
Pop for me.
Yeah, I'm in agreement here. He's shown his ability to bounce back from injury. Now, a year from now, something like that happens again.
It's a different ballgame.
And then we're starting to have the Trout conversation a little bit. This projection, this excitement. Now, Trout was timed up with the hobby where
already
his
solidified.
rookie was 8 years back, so you're going back a little bit. It's a little different on the hobby space of it, but you start having more injuries, it's a little bit. But I would say it's a pop, too, to see somebody come back like that and exceed expectations on that injury.
Yeah.
Especially in a time and place where those types of injuries, they let you take forever now coming back if you want to. So, all right, another one I think we both know where this is going to be. Justin Fields, pop or drop?
Pop.
I agree it's a pop. We've mentioned him several times. He is a player that I have been able to consistently buy and sell as his market is already climbing, and he hasn't proven anything yet in New York, but I think it's a program that's going to let him do what he does best, and we're going to find out.
Yes.
At the end of this season, there's not going to be any more questions that Justin Fields have anything else to show.
You're going to know fast.
Yeah, the weapons he has with him makes it even more interesting because of his ability to have those bursts of speed, to spread a play out, still have a little bit of accuracy and arm strength to get something done. So
people forget how good of a thrower of the football Justin Fields was in college, because when he got to Chicago, he had no receivers and he had a terrible coach.
And not much time.
And not much time at all.
And they didn't want him to be able to spread the play out.
Yeah, and then last year in Pittsburgh, all he did was go out and win games with shackles on his ankles.
Yeah.
And he'd still be there if they hadn't benched him.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted him to bring him back and get rid of Russell Wilson, and he said, screw you guys.
Yeah, they definitely made it tough for him.
Yeah.
Pop. Cam Ward.
Drop.
Now, Will Levis is out.
Yep.
Shoulder injury for the year.
Probably not the best news for Cam Ward.
I think he's probably excited right now.
Oh, he's probably excited right now. Who's he throwing to?
Yeah. That is a major issue.
I mean, who's behind him? Oh, is he super excited to have Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard back there with him? I mean, neither one of them's bad, but are we getting excited?
Right.
Who's he throwing to?
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley, the ghost of Calvin Ridley? Like, what's happening? And again, we talked about this with Cam Ward when the draft happened. Last year's draft, he's a third-round pick. Mm-hmm. Maybe a second-round pick. But if all those same guys come out and he's just inserted into it, he's not a first round, let alone the number 1 overall pick.
Now, his strong suit, he's super athletic, right?
Yeah, but he carries the ball down around his waist when he runs around. I bet he has 20 fumbles this year. Like, it's not going to be pretty. If you've got Cam Ward stuff, it's going to be super hot early in the year.
Yeah.
It's going to be super hot during training camp, as always is. Number 1 overall pick. Sell it.
I would
Thank
agree
me
it's
later.
a drop. For me, it's less about him and it's more about the program and what he has to work with. I don't see much there. And I think I understand what you're getting at. Like, may not be the best thing for him. He's just being fed to the wolves right away. A program that's definitely needs to rebuild. I think he's supposed to be the start of that, but that's the start of that. And it'll be unfortunate he can still be mentored under Will Levis and tell him how to stay calm in all situations and not overreact. And whatever you do, don't try to just muscle through the play.
Don't just try to like flip one underhanded to the sideline while you're going down.
You know, do those types of things. All right, last one. I don't have a strong opinion on this.
I actually do.
Tyler Shuck.
New Orleans Saints. It's a pop for me.
Okay, why?
One, he's probably the day one starter on a team with very low expectations.
Okay.
His market is not going to be super big. All it's going to take is him to go out and have 2 or 3 pretty decent games.
2 or 3 wins.
Yeah, 2 or 3 pretty decent games. And this is a guy who, again, came out of Louisville, kind of an unknown, but he transferred like 3 times. He was at big programs and was just hurt. Finally put together a healthy season and was in talks to be a mid-first round pick, like with one healthy season at Louisville, which is a sign of one of 2 things: either how bad the quarterback draft was this year, which may be a lot of it, or that he can be pretty good. All he's got to do is beat out Jake Haener and Spencer Rattler.
I'll tell you this. The hobby is voting on Spencer Rattler right now.
They might be voting on Spencer Rattler.
Because he's selling quick for me.
Tyler Shuck, I think, gets that job.
Okay.
If it's not week 1, it'll be very early in
the year.
Well, then
I guess I would have to be a pop there as well because it's just all upside, if anything.
It's so low risk, high reward.
Yep. Okay, low and liquid. Let's jump into it. This set's a little different. When I got these, they were, there was a stack of probably 50 of them. Now this is how many I have left. This was included in a big lot where it's like, all right, anything that is interesting to me, I'll try it. So this is the 1996 Pacific Collection. It's just team logo cards, all right? Nothing special about it. They do have like goofy little 3D.
Those are really, the team logo cards are really big in soccer, aren't they?
You would know that better than I do.
I think they're really big in soccer.
I already got Debo screwed up. I don't. Now, did they play against each other in the bowl game?
Maybe.
That would have been it. Team logo card. Gary's having fun with this, but it is going to come back around on him. Team logo card. These are all in Spanish on the back. Okay. I did not know what to think of it. Now it's Spanish and then it has the English translation down below. They've been a really steady drip for me in the store. I don't know exactly why. I'm guessing it's a little bit unique. I guess I would consider this at this point a low and liquid. As I was looking through recent orders the last few months, I was kept seeing more and more and more and more of these. So This is one where I literally would not pay more than 10 cents for them. If you see them in a dime box, though, and you see several of them, I'd probably grab them up and run a batch. But yeah, 1996 Pacific Collection team logo cards, Spanish on the back with the English translation down below. They've been pretty liquid for me. Also, one last little low-end thing that's a little bit interesting. I'll be following it. I am a slow adopter when technology is like, hey, this new thing for people selling low-end and bulk, blah, blah. I want to see how it works first. I've played that game before when it's not ready. Card Dealer Pro just announced that you will be able to directly upload not only to eBay and Collex, but even Whatnot integrations. So I'm really curious to see what that means. That means I could build out my batch one time, and with one button, it goes to eBay, Collex, and Whatnot. Now, are we just creating a bunch of buy it now stores? I can't imagine all that low end stuff's going to move on Whatnot, but it doesn't cost me any more to throw it out there. I might as well give it a shot. So we'll give it up.
System.
Yeah, we'll clog that system. We'll get an update on it.
The Lookout back this week with the Lookout since I wasn't here last week. Speaking of which, Jason killed it last week with his eBay content. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know I did. Every time he talks about eBay stuff, there's something that's new, a little nugget that I'm like, oh, if I did eBay, that would be cool to like have in the old holster. But the Lookout this week is a guy that I can tell you with 100% certainty that I never thought I would talk about on this list. I thought this was a guy who was destined to never get out of minor league baseball. And that is Spencer Jones of the New York Yankees. Spencer Jones was the first-round draft pick of the Yankees in 2022. He was the 25th overall pick, I believe.
I'm not doing anything from memory today.
25th overall pick for the Yankees in 2022 out of college. Big dude. There were a lot of Aaron Judge comparisons early on. Both got drafted a little bit older. Both 6'6", 6'7", both center fielders, both could run, both power. Early in career, a little bit similar, but Judge figured it out much faster. Like a lot of really tall guys that swing a baseball bat, they have really long levers. And that leads to huge holes on the inside of the plate for most of these guys. If you play baseball, you know what I'm talking about. Like when you're tall, it's just a lot more space to get the wood, the knob of the bat down inside and be able to clear the inside of the plate. And Spencer Jones showed that for the first 2.5 years of his professional career. Dude was a career 44, 45% strikeout guy. Like all teams had to do was come inside on him. Now, he would hit some mammoth home runs. I mean, gargantuan 470, 480 foot in-game home runs. This year, the strikeouts have gone down some. They're always going to be there. But he's got it down under 40%. We're like a 37% clip this year, which is worrisome. However, we're still hitting 317 with an over 400 on base percentage. So it means we're walking enough. Mm-hmm. We're walking enough. Our outs aren't super productive, but when we hit the ball, it's going a long ways. Dude has 26 home runs this year. He's slashing 317, 415, 691 for an 1106 OPS. He can run. He can play center for a few years. He's going to steal you some bases. He hasn't been stealing as much this year, but every other year of his career, he's been 25, 30, 35 stolen bases. He'll probably end up this year with around 25. I think he's at 16 or 17 right now. He's in AAA, and he's just, he over the last week and a half, he's hitting 800 with like 6 home runs. He's just absolutely annihilating baseballs. And the Yankees could use a little bit of offense right now. Not going to be shocked at all to see Spencer Jones in Yankee Stadium very, very soon. Now, will he be able to sustain that kind of success at the big league level with that kind of a K rate? Who knows? Ellie was a 33% K guy when he got the call. It's turned out all right. So this is one that I admit I was completely wrong about. I thought this dude was never going to see the bigs. Now I think he's up relatively soon. His stuff has already started to tick up. It had dropped tremendously.
It was so expensive.
When the product first came out, he's in 2023 Bowman Baseball, the first Bowman release of 2023. That's when his Bowman first is. When that product came out, he was one of the product chases. And by the middle of last year, it was 15% of what it was at its peak. Now it's probably back up to about 50 to 55% of what it was at its peak. You still have a little bit of a window if you want to play that game. It's still a game that I would play cautiously. I would sell at call up if you buy now. But Spencer Jones, New York Yankees, 24 years old, should be up relatively soon. That was this week's lookout.
2 things before we head out today that we'd like to remind you of. 3, actually. 1, if you were able to be a part of the first couple Wednesday lunchbox lots, we are so pumped to have such an overwhelming response with that. Gary and I alternate midweek. Here's the quick rundown of what this is. We buy collections and we buy in bulk for our Whatnot shows on Thursday night. And there's a lot of cards that are still good low-end cards that we wouldn't just mag and run by themselves in the show. So we had the idea, what if we started offering a midweek lunchtime? All of the cards are sold in lots, auctions, traditional auction style, not sudden death. And we run those for a couple hours. The first one was a big success. Gary just ran his. And then you'll be seeing more and more of them. We're going to play around this idea a little bit more, but bookmark them. They're all on Whatnot. Now, the week of the National, next week, depending on when you're watching this, next week or this week, we will not be doing a midweek lot show. So that will be the only one that we'll miss. We're considering maybe doing a pop-up. Just keep an eye out for that. But bookmark all of those out, be a part of that, and then join us on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. It's been so much fun. The show is quickly growing. The number of people in the room is growing. People finding out from the podcast and joining us. We got a lot of new stuff to run for you, as well as always. We have a bunch of giveaways. We run like 20 giveaways through the night.
And the National Week show is going to be fun because the plan is that we are going to only sell stuff in that show that we bought at the National. So we're going to be at the National on Wednesday. And we'll be there all day Wednesday. We'll be there all day Thursday. We'll come hang out with you guys on Thursday night for a few hours. And everything that we run, it might be 50 cards. It might be 300 cards. We don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever we bought, we're going to sell.
Yep. It'll all run from location in a nice...
So you can say you bought a card from the National.
And in a nice, clean hotel. That's the more important thing.
That's the assumption.
Yeah. Also, one last thing. Week of the National. We will be doing some sort of a live stream, so pay attention to socials. We're going to figure out what platform. We'll be announcing that soon. It'll be a lot more casual, a little more laid back. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time. Do a little more Q&A, let y'all jump in on the conversation as we record that podcast live from the National, so pay attention to that. We got a lot going on.
We do. We were talking about that today. It's been... Been a hectic few weeks
Absolutely. All right, before we head out, just a quick reminder to you, give us a like, follow, subscribe, all those fun things. This has been the Ball Card Show, the sports podcast.
For the Sports Collector.
Bye now.
Peace.